All right. Hello, parents and families. We are excited that you are here today. This is our third um, meeting with the Office of the Bursar in our Family U Chat series. And so we're super excited that you're here with us today. As you all are kind of joining, I'm giving you some time to make sure that you all get in here and that you are able to see us and hear us. But we are super excited that you're here. So this is our webinar series meant for families. And it's really our way of making sure that you get the information that you need. And so we meet with lots of different campus partners to make sure that you have the information that you need and they can tell you what to expect from their office. And so today we're meeting with the Office of the Bursar. Tomorrow we're meeting with campus safety and UMPD, and then we will have another meeting with the Office of the Bursar as well. And so we hope that you will attend those and register for those and get the information that you need. All of the recordings will be available after the session is over. So you'll see them posted on our YouTube, you'll see them posted on our Facebook, and you'll be able to access those and rewatch those recordings as soon as they're available. And so you can find that information afterwards. So well, without any more talking, I'm going to turn it over to Erin Shadle from the Office of the Bursar, and she's going to tell you about what you can expect with her office.
Thank you, Jonathan. Good afternoon, everyone. Welcome to Family U Chat, Office of the Bursar. I'm joining you today from the Bursar's office here on campus. We're a pretty busy office this time of year, but we wanted to take some time to be able to provide you with some pertinent information, especially given that the due date for the undergraduate bills is this week. A few housekeeping items. I see that a number of people have been raising their hands. We're not going to take questions that way. If you do have a question, please type it in the question and answer box, which you can find at the bottom of your screen, I believe. I do have colleagues with me online today, all from the Bursars or UCARD office, and they will all be answering your questions as you type them in, but I'm hoping to answer a lot of your questions as we go through this presentation. So for today's presentation, we have an agenda that these are the topics that I'm going to try to cover in the hour that we have together. One is the undergraduate bills are due this week on August 10th. So I want to make sure that we talk about that date. I know that causes a lot of anxiety. So I want to talk about the due date and what happens if the bill is not paid. I want to talk about health insurance waivers. I want to talk about which amount do I pay. There's some confusion over which amount is to be paid by the students or families. What to do if you're waiting on a loan. What to do if your 529 payment is on the way. Any questions about the U card, and I'll give you a status of the U card. And the big question, can my students still attend even if the bill is not paid by the 10th? We'll cover that. And then any other what if questions you may have, especially given this time of year. So I'll get started. The bill is due, but we don't want you to panic. So the bill due date is Thursday, August 10th. This is for the bill that was sent to all undergraduate students on July 17th. If the bill is not paid by the 10th, by the end of the day on the 10th, paid in full, and there will be a hold that is added to the student's account. This hold will prevent your student from adding any classes to their schedule. This does not in any way drop them from any class. It does not prevent them from doing anything on campus other than adding classes to their schedule until the bill is paid in full. If your student's schedule is set for the fall, this hold has no impact on your student whatsoever. At that time that we put a hold on, if the bill is not paid, we will send a reminder email. And included in that reminder email will be things like you can still enroll in a payment plan, just a reminder to waive your health insurance, just a reminder that the first day of classes is September 5th, and the balance does need to be reconciled by that date. There is no late fee if the bill is not paid by August 10th. We do not charge a late fee prior to the start of the semester. You will in no way incur additional fees. The student's hold will be removed automatically once the balance has been cleared. And so When we say balance has been cleared, that means the balance is covered by a loan, a 529 payment, a payment plan, or any other combination of the many payment methods that we have. So we want a monthly payment plan that signed up for that you may have signed up for to cover the balance, even though you'll be paying it in 5 monthly installments. We credit your account up front, so your bill is considered paid. Students who do not have the means to pay by the first day of classes. So if you're struggling, or if you are not certain, or if you're waiting for a check that's coming mid-semester, let's say, a commissions check, and that's what you're going to use to pay your balance. Students who are in that situation really should make an appointment with either financial aid or a member of the bursar's office, because that's an exception. It's not something that we would automatically account for. So we're going to need to have a conversation with you or your student. That is not in any way to scare you. It's just to offer actually a way for us to be aware of your financial situation, to see how we can help and how we can make the schedule work for you. So we are here and available to meet with you in person, by virtual, such as Zoom or Teams, or by phone. So if you are concerned that you will not have the bill settled, or will not have a plan to pay the bill by the first day of classes, please, I encourage you to make an appointment to meet with someone from the bursar's office so we can discuss your specific needs. So there's a lot of changes going on right now. This is a busy time of year for inquiries, for changes to student accounts, changing the meal plan, waiving the health insurance, etc., for loan applications, and for 529 payment requests. And this is not just here at UMass, it's across the country. So because of that, and because most colleges start right around this time, and most students and families are trying to get a loan, or trying to take a disbursement from a 529, or trying to make changes to their bill, they're all doing it at the same time, you may experience some backlog. So you may experience backlog in processing, either from your 529, from your loan provider, or from our office. So there's a lot of steps involved in some of these payment options. And unfortunately, we're not a real-time instantaneous society when it comes to this type of thing. So there may be a backlog in processing that you're experiencing. There may be a backlog in our reply emails. In fact, I know there are. We have hundreds of emails that we're trying to respond to while trying to answer the phones at the same time. And that's certainly not your problem. And I understand that, but I want to explain why you may not hear from us right away, or you may experience a long queue when you call our office. There's definitely a backlog for health insurance waivers. So Wellfleet, which is our health insurance company, has been receiving thousands of insurance waivers, and they have reported to us that they are backlogged. So if you have waived your health insurance, you may not see that credit posted to the student account right away. Unfortunately, we do have some long call queues. We encourage you to just stay on the line. We'll get to you as soon as possible. And the longer wait times for 529 payments and loan approvals are also something that we've noticed that students are experiencing, and that's outside of the university. So what you can do now that you know that we're all experiencing backlogs, what you can do is the following. If you have waived your health insurance, this is probably the biggest one we're experiencing now. If you have waived your health insurance and the waiver has not posted to the account yet because of the backlog, please deduct $1,116 from the balance to be paid. So we don't want you to pay more than you need to for your student's bill. If you deduct the $1,116 and pay the difference, your account is considered paid. We do understand that we have a backlog with the health insurance waivers, and so any student who owes $1,116 on the due date is considered paid in full. If you don't see your 529 payment on the student account, if you don't see your scholarship or the loan that you applied for on your student account, but you know the amount that you have requested or that you have received, deduct it from the balance to be paid and paid the difference. So we'll see that you have made a payment on your account. We'll know that you're expecting something else if you made a payment lesser than what the balance is, and you will not be subject to any type of withdrawal. You may get a hold on your account, but again, the hold will only prevent adding classes to your student's schedule. So while we wait for those payments to come in, we don't want you to overpay. We want you to pay the lesser amount. The hold on the account will only prevent adding classes. So talk to your student, make sure their schedule is set, and then we'll wait for the payments to come in and then remove that hold once we receive them. Please do not send more than one email request for the same information. So again, knowing that there's a backlog in our emails, it's enhanced by receiving the same email more than once, stating that you didn't get a response. So we are responding as quickly as possible. We're about 7 days behind on emails, possibly a few days more at this point. If you have an urgent question, you could certainly try calling our office. If it's not urgent, please keep in mind that what will happen if you don't pay by the due date? It might provide a little bit of relief that you're not going to get a late fee. Your student can still come to campus and everything will be just fine. It's just you're experiencing the volume of this type of year, or this time of year, excuse me. And we would request that you be as patient as you possibly can be. We do want your students to be here. We are not looking to penalize you or your students at all. We're looking to help you, but during this time of year, it may be difficult to get in touch with us in person. So we're trying to provide this opportunity to get some information across to our students and families. So I had a lot of questions about which balance do I pay. So we have some confusion. If you log in to the Quick Pay site, you will see that there is a current statement or most recent statement. I think it may say current statement. And a lot of our students and families are clicking on that. That is the statement that was created on July 17th. And so that does not have any changes that you have made to the account since then. You could have declined loans. You could have waived your mass PERG. You could have waived your health insurance. Those are not appearing on that statement that was created on July 17th. You can think of that statement as a paper bill that you got in the mail. The paper bill never gets updated, but the account does. So on that first screen, before you click on the current tuition bill, you will see the up to the minute balance to be paid. If you are Inspire, if you are logged in as your student, if you are logged in as a delegated authority, or working with your student as your student is logging in, under the Finances tile on Spire, you will see, as soon as you click on that, you will see current balance, estimated aid, and then amount to be paid. It's the amount to be paid that is the current balance due. It reflects all changes to the account. It also reflects any estimated aid that may be on the account. And if we do have time at the end, I will show you the actual screens I'm talking about, but I want to make sure I can get through all of your questions first. So what if I'm waiting on a loan? So there are multiple steps to a loan approval. And so I wanted to go over them briefly. The first step is an application. So if you've applied for a loan, either Parent Plus loan through our financial aid office or a parent or other alternative loan through an education lending company or a private lender, the first part is an application. Then there's a credit check. So all of the loans that you are likely applying for have a credit check and that will be completed. Then comes the approval. And what will happen is you will be notified that your credit has been approved and that the lender is waiting on the school certification. School certification means that your lender will contact our financial aid office to confirm that your student is a student here and that the amount you requested is not in excess of the tuition and fees. And what I mean by that is you didn't ask for $50,000 when you have a $10,000 bill, as an example. Once the school certifies the loan, then we accept it as estimated aid on the student bill. So that'll give you an idea of the steps of a student loan. Once you get approved, there is still a delay while we certify the account, certify the loan and then accept it as estimated aid on the student bill. If we get close to the if we get close to the first day of classes and you have not seen your loan on your bill, we're going to ask that you provide us a copy of the approval. So that's why asterisked it with 2 red little asterisks here, so that if your loan is approved and you don't have it on your account yet, we want to see that copy of the approval. You can just email it to us and then we're going to clear your account. But that's as we get closer to the due date. I'm covering a lot of this, I'm covering it quickly, but the main message we want to give you is that there is still time. Even though we have a looming deadline of August 10th, there's still plenty of time to get the financial aspects of your education organized and underway, and for your students to attend this coming fall. There's a couple other what if questions that have come from calls that we've been receiving. What if I get denied for a PLUS loan? If you get denied for a Parent PLUS loan, you can apply with a new cosigner, or the student may be eligible for additional federal unsubsidized loans in their name only. So if you do apply for a PLUS loan and you get denied for any reason, your student will be notified of their options. Please have them check their email, and you may want to speak with our financial aid department as well. What if I can't co-sign a loan for my students? We would encourage you to consider if there are any other co-signers that are available. Students, especially entering students at their age and with their credit history, are not eligible to receive a student loan without a co-signer, other than the federal loans that they are automatically granted as a result of your FAFSA application. So students and families who need additional loans to pay for the student bill will likely require a loan that requires a cosigner. If you cannot cosign a loan for your student, we would encourage you to talk to other family members to see if they may be able to cosign for the student. Another question, and I think I touched on this, that we've had, I can't pay until later in the semester. So we do have a payment plan that I will touch on as we go through this. We do have a payment plan that will allow you to pay in smaller monthly amounts rather than the larger full balance at the beginning of the semester. So that may become helpful. If instead you are in the situation that I discussed earlier, where you can't pay anything until the middle of the semester because you're waiting for a commission check, as an example, that's where you need to set up a meeting with the bursar's office staff to try to figure out what the appropriate action is to take. But please don't just ignore it. Your student will be getting notifications from us if their bill is not paid after the first day of classes. And we want to make sure that the entire situation is under control, so then we're not causing anxiety if we don't need to. So we talked about my 529 payment is on the way. If you have initiated a payment with your 529, it should be on its way. Please check Spire if you're the student, or QuickPay if you're the parent, for up-to-date activities on the account. This is how you're going to know if your 529 plan has made it to our office. Again, keep in mind there's backlog on all fronts. There may be backlog with the 529 plan itself getting the payments out. There may be backlog within the bursar's office getting all the payments posted in a timely fashion. So just give it a few days and check Spire or QuickPay to see if that payment has updated. There's no reason to panic unless it's been weeks. And by weeks, I don't mean 1 week. I mean like 3 or 4 weeks. Then I would possibly contact your 529 to verify that that payment went out and what date it went out, and we can go from there. The other thing I wanted to touch on was anticipated aid. So we have a lot of questions this time of year about anticipated aid. Anticipated aid is award money that we fully expect the student to receive, but it hasn't been applied yet. It is important to make sure that all to-do items are complete. And this is for the students. They should make sure all their to-do items are complete. If there's anything we need for financial aid to be awarded, we do list it in a to-do list so that your student is able to see exactly what needs to be done. Anticipated aid does reduce the balance owed. So a bill that is paid by anticipated aid will be considered paid on time. So the anticipated aid also includes future payment plan installments. So if you do sign up for a payment plan and obviously you're scheduled to pay in September, October, November, and December, which is well after the due date. We do take into account all those scheduled payments and considered your bill paid, even though you haven't made those installment payments yet. If you still have a balance after all anticipated aid has been factored in, then there is still a shortfall on your bill. And if you have any questions about that, you should give our office a call and we'll walk you through that. So another question is, what about my student's U card? So the U card is the identification card for all students here at UMass. It also functions as a debit card. You can put money on the card and the student can use it across campus. It acts as a access card to get into the dorm, and you can swipe the card for your meal plans, for your students' meal plans when they're here on campus. So there's a lot to the U card, a lot of functionality. Most students received the U card at orientation, but for those who didn't attend or didn't receive their U card at orientation, we mailed over 1,700 U cards just last week. They were mailed to the permanent address, only for domestic addresses. International students are not having their U cards mailed. We can only mail to within the United States. So the U card should be arriving soon for your students. A confirmation email will go out tomorrow to any students who had their U card mailed, just so they're on the lookout for it. International students who are arriving a little bit later this month and are living on campus will get their U card from the residential life office at the time that they move in and pick up their keys. So it's at that time you should expect to receive your U card along with the keys that will get you into your res hall. All other students will need to come to the U card office to get their card. So if the card was not mailed, and if you are not an international student, or if you didn't upload your photo, you will have to come in to the U card office to pick up your card. Students who are living on campus, non-international students who are moving onto campus, likely Thursday and Friday of the last week in August, those students should move in first. So get all of your stuff situated, because there's a very specific move-in flow that has to happen. So get all your stuff moved into your room and then go to the U card office located in the Whitmore Administration Building to pick up your U card. The U card office is open 8:30 to 5, Monday through Friday. The U card office will be closed over the weekend and on Labor Day. So that means September 2nd, 3rd, and 4th, the U card office will not be open. Students who are moving in on those days, typically are returning students, or students who are moving in after the 5 o'clock hour or before the 8:30 hour, will receive a temporary card from Residential Life that will allow them to still function as a student on campus until the U card office reopens, at which time they should go to the U card office and get their U card. Students who haven't already should submit a U card photo online. So you can upload a photo. That's how you get the photo onto your U card. We require that you do it online, and the website for the U card office is there, where you can click on the upload photo link and provide us a photo to print onto your U card. And I know there's an anxiety that's created by the due date of the bill, where parents are very concerned that their student cannot attend. And so the question, can my students still attend, is absolutely yes. We are very excited to welcome your students to campus. Our goal with all these billing and due dates and deadlines and registration holds, the hold to stop adding classes, is not to punish, but rather to encourage you to plan for the financial obligation of the tuition and fees. So our goal here is to help and assist. If you are unsure of your abilities to pay, or still are having trouble making financial arrangements by the move-in date, it is important that you set up a time to meet with someone in either the financial aid office or my office, the Bursar's office, so that we can discuss options. Please don't just ignore the student bills. We definitely want to help you make some plans to get the bill paid in a way that will work for you and work for the university. Students who attend beyond the first day of classes lose the option of 100% refund of tuition and fees if they withdraw. So this is why it's so important to make sure you have an understanding of your financial obligations and whether or not you can meet those. Because a student who attends beyond the first day of classes and then, a couple weeks in realizes they can't afford the tuition, or this isn't the right school for them, or whatever the case may be. It's rare, but those students, if they withdraw after the first day of classes, they will be obligated to pay a portion of the tuition and fees. So that's why we talk to you and send you notifications in July and August so that we can get all of this settled before the classes begin. So a reminder that we still have a payment plan that is available as an option. The payment plan is still open for enrollment. You can enroll to pay your tuition over 5 monthly installments per semester. The first installment starts in August. You can select the 10th as your first day of payment or the 20th. And then it will be that same day each month. So the payment plan for fall runs from August through December. For those planning ahead, we will also have a payment plan for the spring. It will begin January and go through May. So the same type, you will be able to select the 10th or the 20th of each month. And the first payment for spring would be in January. So January to December. If you pay with an e-check, there is no charge for this payment plan. It's a no interest payment plan with a $45 enrollment fee that's charged when you enroll each semester. If you pay with a credit or debit card, there is a 2.8% service charge. So if you are paying with a debit card, we encourage you to instead select e-check rather than credit card, and then you will not be charged a 2.8% fee. And the 2.8% fee will be on each monthly payment. This is also an important slide. So we had a presentation in July that I believe is available on the Parent Services website. It's also on Facebook because I saw it there. One of the most important slides we covered that day was accessing information. And so I felt it was worth another look at the ability to access information. So our office, the Bursar's office, will communicate directly with our students regarding any billing related matters. Certainly, because you're on this call with us today, you have an interest in the financial aspects of your student's education, and you may want to receive this information as well. At the time that your student enrolls at UMass Amherst, they are considered an adult for the most part. We do have a few exceptions of students who are under the age of 18, but the majority of our students are now adults, and as such, the federal government protects their rights to privacy. You may have experienced this if you called your student's doctor and asked for information. That was a wake-up call for me when I called for my 18-year-old son and was told that they could not discuss him or his health matters with me. So it's the same kind of thing. Your student now recognizes an adult has protections that are in place through the federal government. So the student can choose to waive some of that privacy and give you access to their information. And there are 3 levels of security that your student can set up. Literally takes 5 minutes to set up all 3. So this is really not a time concern, but it will get you set up so that you can get the most information with regard to your student's account access. If you are going to screenshot any slide in this presentation, I would suggest you screenshot this slide. As I said, 3 levels of security that your student has to put in place in order for you to have access to their information. The first is called FERPA. It stands for the Family Education Rights and Privacy Act, and it does protect student education and financial records. So the student is the only one that this university can communicate with unless they waive their FERPA access. And what they do, they don't just blanketly say, yeah, talk to anybody. A student will go into their Spire account, which is the UMass online account for them. They will click on their profile and there is a FERPA waiver listed, and they will list the people that are allowed to speak to either the bursar's office or the financial aid office about their financial situation. So when you call either office, we will ask for your FERPA code. Please work with your student, tell them the 4-digit code that you want so that it's easy for you to remember. The student has to set it up, but you can pick the code so that it's easy to remember. And then when you call either the financial aid office or the Bursar's office, will ask you for your FERPA code, so we know we're talking to someone that the student has said we can talk to. Authorized payer is the second level of access. As an authorized payer, you have your own login to our quick pay system, which is our online billing and payment system. You will also get emails about billing related matters every time we send one out. We will send it to the student and to the authorized payer. This can include reminders about deadlines to waive the health insurance, notification that you have a hold on your account due to non-payment, reminders that our payment plan is still open, etc. So you will also get copied on the monthly bills that do go out from our university to the student. It will be directed to the student and you will get a copy of that email as well. Authorized payer access also allows you to log into the online billing and payment system and look at the bill, look at past bills, look at the current balances, pay a bill, or sign up for a payment plan. So that's a really important access to have. This access only applies to the bursar's office because we are the only office that sends out the bills. Financial aid notifications are not sent to authorized payers, just billing notifications. The final level of access is called delegated access. So a student has the ability to share their Spire information. Spire, again, is a student's online access to UMass. It includes their registration, their grades, their bills, their financial aid, and anything else related to UMass is found through Spire. If they choose, they can give a parent or a third party access to their Spire information by setting them up as a delegate. With delegated access, what you will be logging into is the Spire account, not the billing system. You'll actually be logging into the student's Spire account, but there's limited availability of information to delegates. Delegates can't see everything. What they can see is they can see a student's to-do list if there are outstanding items for the student to do in order to receive financial aid. They can see financial aid, limited access, but they can see some financial aid. They can see some housing. They can see the bill or the student account and holds. You cannot see the student grades, and you will never be able to see the student grades. Student grades are not covered under any of these levels of access. The only way you can see your student grades is if they share them with you. So I just want to put that caveat out there because we do have a lot of questions about that. But I would strongly encourage you to screenshot this screen if you haven't already, if you didn't participate in the July session, and make sure your students have you signed up with all the access you need in order to navigate the billing system. So that's all I had for my slides today. I'm going to ask my colleagues who are on the call if there have been any questions that keep popping up that maybe we should answer. Okay, so my colleague just walked into the office because she is also on this presentation and asked me to talk about dual enrollment, which I think she meant dual access control. So our university implemented a new security feature, which requires that you have dual control to access your Spire information. This applied to staff, faculty, and students. And so what happens is when your student goes to log into Spire, they will get asked for their email address, their password, or they'll get a code sent to their phone, and they will have to type the code in to the screen that pops up. And then they will have to enter their password, logon ID and password after that. So my understanding is that this is causing some questions and some difficulties for our students. If you are having problems with this dual authentication new feature to get into Spire, I would encourage you to contact the help desk, and I can give you their number. Their phone number is 413-545-9400. That is our IT help desk, information technology help desk, and they should be able to help you walk through this process. It just rolled out on the 31st of July, so this is very brand new. If you are having difficulties with it, I would encourage you to call that number, the help desk, and they will be able to assist you getting through it. Are there any other questions that some of my colleagues may have noticed are popping up? Okay, I'll give it a few more minutes just to see if any questions come to mind. How do
May
we
I ask
find
if you
out?
could repeat the number? I'm sorry.
Oh, I'm so sorry. I didn't see that. Yes. 413-545-9400. So somebody asked about tuition insurance. I can answer that one. So at UMass Amherst, we don't offer tuition insurance because it's something that's offered outside of the university. You have the ability to sign up for tuition insurance. There are a number of companies out there that offer this tuition insurance, and what it does, depending on the plan you sign up for, you'll be charged monthly for tuition insurance. And should your student withdraw during the semester and there's an obligation to pay the university a portion of your fees, the insurance will cover that. The nuances of it and the details about it depend on who you work with. If you Google tuition insurance, I'm sure you can find companies listed that provide this service. They all have different fees, they all have different criteria for paying an insurance claim. But you can definitely take a look. We have none that we can offer as the best or ones that the university works with because it's truly outside of the university. It's like having personal insurance for you for tuition charges that you're paying. So I would encourage you to maybe Google, talk to other parents. Maybe they have some idea about what tuition insurance is the best. Or what tuition insurance they've worked with and had a great experience with, but this is not something that is offered through the university. So yes, I was going to show some slides on Spire. So just bear with me one moment. I'm going to stop sharing my screen for a minute. And see if I can get into Spire. Okay, so I'm going to try to share my screen again. Okay, so now you should see my screen, which shows me logged in as a student. So this is what a student login would look like, and this is what I'm going to show you. It's likely that you will be sitting with your student when they're doing this. So this is what it would look like. Everything that we talked about today, most of it is under the Finances tab. There's also information under the Financial Aid tab that I will show you in a second, and some information under the Profile. But this is where your students will go. This is what Spire looks like for your students. This is the to-do list. So if they see anything here, like I have a hold on my account, if they see anything here, a hold or a to-do item, they should click on it and see what it says. And there is information given about the hold. So they can click on all the details and figure out exactly what they need to do to get rid of that. The other thing I want to show you is we've had a lot of questions about declining student loans. If your student your student has to decline the loans. If they are in Spire, this is what it looks like again. They should click on the Financial Aid tab or tile, excuse me. Click on the Financial Aid tile, and then right here, the third one down, they should be able to click Reduce decline award, and their awards for this year will pop up, and they can select the loan that they want to decline. So it's as easy as that. Takes them just a few moments. It will take a few days for that to disappear from their bill, but that's how you would decline a loan. The other things we talked about were in the finances section. So if the student clicks on the finance tile, this is what in this area right here is what I was talking about which amount do I pay. So this is a summary version of everything. Unfortunately, when I am no longer a student, so it says 0, but yours should say something. It should say current balance, which is the amount to be paid before we apply the estimated aid. That would be a current balance. Then what we provide for you is a listing of your total estimated aid. Keep in mind, this will include your payment plan, your future installments. It will include any loans that are pending and haven't been sent to the university yet. It will include tuition credits that may not have applied yet, but we have the information. So what we want you to do is the balance after estimated aid. So what we do to get the balance to be paid amount is we take the current balance, subtract the estimated aid because we do not want you to pay more than you need to, and then you get the balance to be paid. That is your current balance. This information is up to date as of the time that you log into the site. So this is what you'll see here, or your students will see here on their first screen. If they then go to Quick Pay, I want to show you the differences here. If they then go to Quick Pay, it'll just take a minute. This may be familiar to our authorized payers because you would go directly into Quick Pay. You will see the same type of information up here at the top where you have current balance, estimated aid, balance after estimated aid, and it's all listed here. Again, unfortunately, mine are 0, but you would have numbers filled in here. What you will also see down here in the recent activity area is anything that's happened since the last time that we billed you. So we created a bill on July 17th. Anything that has happened since July 17th is listed in this section in detail. And the previous balance reflects the amount that we billed you on July 17th. So what we do is we create a bill, we put it out in the archives where you can access it, and I'll show you in just one moment. And then we start a brand new screen that says, okay, previous balance, that's the amount we billed you on July 17th. Now here's everything that has happened since that date to get to your current balance. So hopefully this is a bit easier to understand now that I've explained it a little bit. A lot of our parents are going straight to latest tuition bill. And so if you click on the latest tuition bill, I'm not sure that I have one. No, I don't have one. If you click on latest tuition bill, it will show you the bill that was created on July 17th. But that's as of July 17th. So again, it hasn't accounted for any changes you've made after the 17th. So we would encourage you to look here first, right in this section, to find your balance after estimated aid. That's how much you're expected to pay. If it has a CR next to it, it means you pay nothing. We actually owe you some money. But if you want to see all the transactions on that very first bill, this is where you would click on latest tuition bill. I see a couple more questions coming in. One of the questions is, do they need to purchase books before classes start? Honestly, I'm talking as a parent and not the bursar at UMass Amherst right now. My students, my children did not. They did get the syllabus and they waited until the first day of classes. A lot of professors will understand that you haven't purchased the book before the classes start, but some of that might change. So it truly depends on the student's preference. I have one son who wanted all his books brand new the day before classes began. He went to the bookstore. I have another son who said, no, I'll just see what they have out there if I can share with someone. So it's truly a student preference. Your son or your student will not be penalized if they do not have their book on the first day of classes, but you don't want to wait too long to get the books either. The bookstore. So the other question is, and I think this might be related, does the bookstore then put the charges on the site? No. The student needs to purchase books separately outside of the bill. I think that's your question. If the student is looking up what class they're trying to enroll in or have enrolled in, the book information will be there, as well as a link to our virtual bookstore called eCampus. So we do have a virtual bookstore that students can order their books through. The books can be sent here to the campus, to their residence hall. They can also be picked up in the bookstore. We have a very small bookstore distribution center. They can pick them up there. They can have them sent there. Yes, a lot of books are rented or virtual electronic. They buy electronic versions, so there's actually no book that is sent. Let me see. Can they pay for books via the U card? I believe that is true. Tom, is that true? We can accept U card for payment? Oh, Tom may have jumped off. Yes, you can use your U card to make a payment through the eCampus bookstore, which again is our online virtual bookstore. If we, let's see.
Tom said yes, but through Spire.
Right. Thank you so much. Right. So Spire will link you. Thank you, Jonathan. Spire will link you to the eCampus bookstore. And so the U card is available for pay as a payment method. I think we have maybe a few more minutes, so I'll just wait for a few moments to see if any other questions come up. But what I want to do is, what I want to do again is just have everybody take a deep breath. This is a very busy week here at UMass and a very anxious week for our students and families, and we don't want it to be that way. What we want you to do is just realize that we're working hard to work with you to have the bill taken care of and the obligations met. Don't be afraid of the due date. Don't be concerned about the due date as much as, I mean, be aware of it, but don't be concerned about it. We're not asking any students to leave the university. We're not canceling any enrollment by August 10th. So we do have some time to get this stuff worked out. And we certainly do appreciate your patience as we try to navigate this time of year on campus. It does get quite busy. So adding money to the U card. I believe one of the questions is being answered, but there's another question about it. So you can add money to the U card through the U card office's website. And there is a program called Get, where a parent or a student or anyone can add money to a student's U card. It is all virtual. You don't have to send in a check. You don't have to show up with cash. It's all virtual. And so payments are accepted through that website. I have to change it after what I heard here. There's a statement that says I have to change it after what I heard here. I assume that's the payment plan. The payment plan, you can adjust your payment plan. You can change it if need be. If you have any questions about how to do that, or if you need us to help you do that, you can certainly contact the bursar's office. We can walk you through the change, or we can change it for you. But you do have the ability to change the payment plan on your own. If you go back into the payment plan where you set it up and you click on your agreement, you will have the option to adjust balance, and you can adjust it up or down. And whatever you adjust it by, it will be split over the remaining installment payments on your payment plan. I believe we might also have a how-to document on our website that will tell you how to adjust your payment plan as well. Are there any other questions? Give it another second or two. So there is a question on the health insurance deadline. So the deadline to waive the health insurance would be the end of the add drop period. So for our undergraduate students, the end of add drop is Monday, September 11th. So you're going to want to get that waiver in by Monday, September 11th. If it's not posted because there's still a little bit of a delay, that's fine as long as you have put in the waiver by September 11th. So some of these questions I'm not able to answer. For instance, how many days normally does it take to open a student bank account? If you're talking about a local bank, like the Bank of America, I'm sorry, I don't have that information. I think it depends on the bank policies and how the initial funding is happening. You can certainly look on their website to see if perhaps that's something that is available on the website, but I'm not aware of how many days it would take to open a student bank account at one of our local banks. There's a terminate option. Wanted to know if I terminate, can I add a new payment plan? So the answer is yes. If you terminate, you can add a new payment plan. However, you will need to contact the office so we can reopen that payment plan for you, and you will be charged another $45 enrollment fee. So you may want to give us a call and we can try to figure out why you want to terminate and if maybe changing your payment plan is a better option, because we don't want you to have to pay $45 again to enroll in a payment plan. And there is a UMass credit union available here on campus and in the community. Students are able to participate with the UMass credit union. They do have an office located in the student center, the campus center on campus. All right, Jonathan, unless I missed something, we might be good for today.
I think we are. So thank you so much for answering questions and providing all of this information. And I even saw that you provided lots of new information from the previous sessions. So thank you so much for being responsive to what our families are asking. Families, this recording will be available on umass.edu/parents and our UMass Parents Facebook. And so you can find the recordings there later today. And we will see you tomorrow. Have a good one.
Thank you, everyone.